Kurmanji has 8 vowels, although they may look the same. Ah, ちょっと待って先生。Kurmanji なんですか? Oh. Kurmanji is a Kurdish dialect, spoken by roughly 15 to 20 million people as of 2009. It's an Indo-European, Indo-Iranian, Western Iranian Kurdish language, with the majority of speakers living in southeast Turkey, northwest and northeast Iran, and northern parts of Syria and Iraq. According to the University of Arizona, Kurmanji is spoken by roughly 60% of all ethnic Kurds, making it the most widely known Kurdish dialect. There are several other Kurdish dialects spoken throughout the Kurdish diaspora. This includes Sorani, Palawan, Gorani, Kurmanji, and a few more. It's written in the Latin script for the most part. However, you can sometimes find Kurmanji written using the Cyrillic alphabet or even the Yazidi alphabet. The earliest written records of Kurmanji come from poets during the 16th century, such as Ahmad Khani, who was a poet, philosopher, and astronomer. Before we continue, let's take a look at Kurdish history and some of the politics that surround the Kurdish people. And as always, if you like these Language Digest videos, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, as your support is much appreciated on this channel. Like with all Middle Eastern ethnicities and cultural groups, the history and politics surrounding the Kurds are extremely complex and delicate. While the numbers vary from estimate to estimate, according to BBC, there are roughly 25 to 35 million ethnic Kurds that live among the mountain range that constitute the Kurdish diaspora. The majority of the Kurds are Sunni Muslims, with a small percentage of Yazidis who do not identify with Islam. The origins of the Kurds are not entirely known, although many scholars believe that during the early centuries, Iranians and other tribes such as the successors of the Lullaby and Kurduchi eventually merged together. Eventually, the idea of the Kurdish language or set of similar dialects emerged. Fast forward to the 12th century AD, and the last great monarch of the Seljuks, Ahmad Sanjar, created a principality known as Kurdistan, which correlates roughly to the modern diaspora. However, the more popular form of national identity prior to the 20th century may have occurred during the Ayyubid period, when An-Nasir Salah ad-Din strengthened Kurdish autonomy by creating Kurdish chieftainships and giving them some form of self-governance. Over the next several hundred years, the Kurds were invaded by various groups such as the Mongols and Persians from the east, and eventually the Ottomans from the north in the 16th century. Throughout the Ottoman Empire timeline, many Ottoman subjects in Armenia, the Kurdish diaspora, and various regions across the eastern Mediterranean were starting to get a little unhappy with the fact that they were, subjects. And there was even a brief revolt called the Janpulat revolt. The Janpulat was a Kurdish-ruled clan that was unhappy with the Ottoman Empire, and so they led a revolt. Not so much out of nationalism, as the concept was still in its infancy, but primarily out of resentment. It's important to point out that over this millennia, the Kurds started to integrate Islam into their culture, and became Sunni Muslims with the help of the Ottoman ruling. During the 20th century, Kurds and other Arab groups started revolting against the Ottoman Empire even more, and after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, they started to seek their own nation and the right to self-governance, although the British Empire wasn't really buying into that idea. Now, it's important to point out that during the middle of the 21st century, more importantly the Cold War era, the Kurds started to adopt two scripts, the Latin alphabet and a Cyrillic alphabet. Kurmanji specifically favored the Latin alphabet. Kurmanji itself has 8 vowels. Although they may look the same and sound the same, they are slightly different. The vowels are A, I, E, O, U, O. Here are a few phrases in Kurmanji. Navê min, my name. Navê min Joshé, my name is Josh. Tu çend salî, how old are you? Ez Kurdim, I'm a Kurd. Some numbers include yek, du, se, char, penj, shesh, heft, hesht, ne, de. To learn more about the Kurdish language, you can check out our website language.This or check out the description below for additional resources. We created this video to shed some light on the Kurdish people who are seeking liberation from Syria, Iraq, and primarily eastern Turkey. They have done a great deal to defeat the majority of ISIS strongholds and have been fighting for independence for almost 100 years. Once again, if you like these Language Digest videos and would like to see more, please comment, rate, and subscribe to show your support. Thank you, and we'll see you in our next video. Bi khatir